There's been a wave of US news reports coming from border towns south of Ontario, places holding rallies to support Canada and push back against Donald's rhetoric and policies. Now, just to be clear, I do appreciate the gesture. The effort is there, and organizers took the time and effort to make it known to Canadians. But deep down, I just don't think anything can undo what's already been done. Quick note before I begin, everything I say here is my opinion only. You're free to agree, disagree, or move on. I'm just sharing what's on my mind. But if you do agree, it would be great to hear from you in the comments. All right, let's get into the first report.
Tonight, some Western New Yorkers are putting their elbows up for Canada. It's part of a series of rallies calling for a stronger relationship between the United States and our neighbors to the north. 2 Your Side's Alyssa Clausell is in Niagara Falls with the latest.
Courtney, Niagara Falls is quite literally where the U.S. meets Canada, where two borders connect and two countries meet. And that's why demonstrators chose this spot to say elbows up today.
Tonight,
we stand in solidarity with our Canadian friends and neighbors.
Canadian flags wave on the U.S. side of Niagara Falls, and a group of Western New Yorkers rally in support of a stronger relationship between the U.S. and Canada.
We understand that the President of the United States has broken trust by imposing these arbitrary and capricious tariffs on Canada, which is our most important trading partner.
All right, I'll say this. I respect the effort. You held a protest, spoke to the media, and tried to reach out to Canadians. But here's the thing. Canadians are watching. And as one of them, let me give you a bit of advice. From the people you're hoping will come back, and the ones who your president pissed off. It's not the tariffs we're pissed about. It's the 51st state rhetoric. It's the annexation threats. It's the 77 million of your fellow citizens who keep mocking our country like we're some American state. Like these citizens.
Well, you'll have the opportunity to become the 51st state. Ah!
With our Canadian friends. Our 51st state.
We're looking forward to having you as our 51st state.
So if you want your message to be heard, if you want to reconnect with Canadians, you've got to understand what actually broke the relationship. Sometimes, I really wish I could do an interview with these US news stations. We're off to a great start on this video.
Kate Powers is one of the organizers of the Elbows Up for Canada rally. She says they are sounding the alarm on growing tensions between the U.S. and Canada, tensions that have been brewing since an April tariff war.
Canadians have done nothing wrong to us. They've done nothing wrong other than they've been our friends forever.
And this rally is not the only one happening in Western New York.
No hate! No 51st state!
This was a scene in Buffalo's Freedom Park earlier today.
Canada has to stand on its own 2 feet, but we also have to be neighbors, good neighbors, and share and help each other.
Finally, someone at this Buffalo rally actually gets it, whoever is on the loudspeaker. For once, it wasn't just about tariffs. But then came the last woman, and I'm just going to say it, we don't have to do anything anymore. Yes, we share a border, but that doesn't mean we owe you our trust, our friendship, or our money. That trust, it's gone. And I don't think you realize just how deep the damage is. This isn't a phase. It's not something that magically resets. This was the moment. The moment decades of goodwill, history, and partnership were shattered by your leadership and by millions who stood behind it within a few short months.
Another Elbows Up rally with Western New Yorkers sharing that same concern. Michael Powers is the rally's co-organizer.
A goal of shared success. It seems to be like we're out to penalize one another, and that just seems so unfortunate.
Both of these rallies are right across from Canada's border. They come on the heels of a new initiative from Visit Buffalo Niagara.
We've updated our Buffalo Loves Canada graphic, and so we're encouraging the local tourism businesses across Erie County and Buffalo to use that starting tomorrow.
So, it's this guy again, back with the same billboard, because nothing says we've learned our lesson like slapping up a sign and hoping Canadians come running. If he wants a reality check, he should probably go watch my last video and read the comments. There's just under 2,400 comments at the time of editing this video. Spoiler, it's not the warm welcome he's hoping for. If you missed that one, the link's up in the top right corner.
The tourism organization president, Patrick Kaler, announcing updates to their Buffalo Loves Canada campaign in celebration of Canada Day and following a decline in Canadian tourism.
We're still seeing over a 20% decrease in cross-border traffic. We've actually had a 62% year-over-year decrease in our overall website traffic from Canadians coming to visit buffaloniagara.com.
As campaigns and rallies continue to roll out this week, there's this message from one demonstrator.
We're going to continue. It's the least we can do.
And these two rallies weren't the only ones happening today. Organizers tell us about 25 other Elbows Up rallies were happening coast to coast, from Alaska all the way to Maine.
I'll give her credit. Her message felt genuine. We'll keep going. It's the least we can do. Respect for that, sincerely. But a bit of a reality check. Standing in a park with signs isn't going to move the needle in Washington. I don't have the perfect answer on what will move the needle either. I'm just a Canadian with a YouTube channel and a monotone voice. But I do know this. Good intentions aren't enough to rebuild broken trust, and the US is going to have to figure that out on their own. The reporter also mentioned other protests, and that brings us to one in Prescott, Ontario, where some US citizens actually crossed into Canada to show their support. Let's take a look.
And an Elbows Up rally was held an hour south of Ottawa today along the shore of the St. Lawrence River in Prescott, but it was not organized by Canadians. CTV's Jack Richardson explains.
This is a friendship flotilla organized by residents from Ogdensburg, a small town along the St. Lawrence River in New York State.
In solidarity with my Canadian friends, my family, half of my family lives over here.
For these Americans, it's their way of showing support for their next door neighbors.
I fish a lot on the Canadian side. You've got better fishing over here.
Michelle Wellen is a dual citizen living in New York State, but her mom was born and raised on the Canadian side of the river in Brockville. That's why she chose to spend Saturday's rally in Canada.
We just wanted to come today to this side to let my Canadian family know we support them. It's been a good, friendly relationship. So it's distressing to see some of the stuff that's going on now from our side.
This show of support from residents in Ogdensburg, New York is indicative of the tight relationship that border towns along the St. Lawrence River share. Some of them have family members on the Canadian side and just want to show that what's happened politically over the past 6 months isn't indicative of how they feel about their neighbors to the north.
If you live in a border community, you know how important the relationship is between the U.S. and Canada. And we don't want Canadians to feel uncomfortable coming across the border.
The border. That alone is just one of the many issues, and I don't think he fully gets just how big of one it really is. Border control isn't even under his county's authority. It's federal, which means no matter how many rallies they hold, it's not going to ease the real concern. Because for many Canadians, the problem is that sinking feeling when you pull up to the checkpoint. Will they pull you in? Search your car? Give you attitude? Or worse, detain you for some nonsense? Sure, thousands still cross. But ask yourself, who really wants to take that chance anymore? Better yet, who wants to be in the same country with people like these?
We're looking forward to having you as our 51st state.
Consistent comments made by U.S. President Donald Trump about his desire to make Canada the 51st state is conflicting for people in towns like Ogdensburg.
It's an uncomfortable feeling. We almost feel like we have to apologize and we have to say, this is not who America is.
Well, you'll have the opportunity to become the 51st state. Ah!
I'm pretty sure she's from the U.S., and there's 77 million more of them. This guy on the call says this is not who America is. Well, I'm sorry, and I hate to break it to you, but what we see today is the United States of America. You need to look at your country as a whole, not just the half that didn't vote for Donald. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, you're still the United States of America. And right now, your house is a mess. So while I do respect the effort from the rally organizers, for me personally, it's not enough. Because what most US citizens, and even your media, still don't understand is why Canadians are upset. It's not about tariffs. It's not the weak loony, and no, it's not the rain. Despite that business owner in Maine thinking we're staying away because of the rain of all things. If you want to see that video, the link's in the top right. We're staying away because of the 51st state rhetoric, because of annexation threats, because of border harassment and a total lack of respect from the right. And until all of that changes, don't expect us to come back, even if it did magically improve. For a lot of us, the boycott is permanent. If this video resonates with you, hit like and subscribe to help get this message out. Share it with others. And if you're still here, check out the other videos on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.